How are you all doing? Let me know how you're doing in the comments. Thanks for joining me here on Instagram for the live version of this reading. And to all of those who may be watching in a couple hours from now on YouTube, hello, thanks for joining me there. And anybody replaying the video, thanks for joining me there. So good to see you all. Happy Friday, happy new moon in Aries. It is a good day, it is a weekend day, and we get to tap into a new moon. So that's a great energy to enjoy. If you caught my weekly reading on my YouTube channel on Sunday, then you also know that the card for the end of the week was Commencement. So it is right in line with this feeling of new beginnings, fresh new outlooks and perspectives, fresh new energy to tap into, new projects to be developed, new seeds to be grown, all sorts of stuff. And our light warrior spirit from today that I talked about, the fearlessness to be a light warrior. If you caught my IGTV video on Instagram, then you know all about that energy of being fearless. And we're going to talk about that as well for this Aries new moon. So we'll get into that in just a little bit, but I'm just going to scroll through the comments and see how you guys are feeling. Nellie says she's doing good. Hey Nellie, I'm good. Thanks for asking. It's been a great day. I'm actually on a cleanse right now, you guys. I am on a 33-hour cleanse. That's probably why I was out of it in the beginning, because I was just like, my brain is not all the way tapped into my physical body right now. I'm in a cleanse. I'm doing the Dr. Sebi cleanse for 33 hours. I have the tea. I posted about it in my story. Definitely check that out. And what it consists of is just all water today and tomorrow for 33 hours. I started at 6:48 a.m., which was my birthday time. And so it's just kind of a nice spiritual time to do any kind of cleanse or any kind of spiritual work on yourself. It's nice to tap into that original essence of when you were born into this world. And so I use that time as my starting point, and then I do 33 hours of a cleanse and detox. And so I'm on that right now. I feel really good. I feel like I'm cleansing a lot of the emotional heaviness from this week that I was feeling and that a lot of us may have been feeling as well. I know I had some personal stuff, but we also had some worldwide stuff and culture stuff. So it's good to be able to cleanse that out, and I'll talk a little bit about that more with this new moon as well. And new moons in general are great for cleansing. They're great for starting new things, starting a new kind of restriction in your diet or a new lifestyle, a new cleaner way of eating, or a new healthier habit. And the full moon is really good for releasing stuff. So a full moon can be good for detox too when you're cleaning and cleansing. But if you want to kind of start from scratch with a new way of life and to start eating more cleanly from that point forward and have that be a part of a new way of your new life. And so that can be really fun for the new moon. All right, let's get into the Aries new moon. Today is April 5th, 2019, and we are in an Aries new moon. The Aries is in 15 degrees Aries. The moon is in 15 degrees Aries. And 15 is a number for alchemy, and it's a really strong number. It's also a number for coming into your oneness with self. We know that 5, so 1 coming into oneness with yourself. And then 5 is positive change, positive momentum forward and positive change. So with 15 degrees in Aries, the full moon or the new moon being in 15 degrees in Aries, we're feeling into alchemy. We're feeling into oneness and positive change moving forward. And we're even feeling some of that transmutation energy that we talked about at the beginning of the week as well throughout this whole week. So this Aries new moon is all about tapping into all of that energy of transmutation, of moving forward, of tapping into new beginnings and allowing yourself to really feel free in that ability to be fearless in those new beginnings. So let's get into a little bit more of these characteristics. A couple of things that I wrote down and talked about in the weekly reading, but also some additional information, is that we're feeling a lot into our instinct and almost animalistic primal intuition energies, our understanding of nature, also this kind of call to be more in cycle and in tune with nature, to understand our own impact on nature, and also to understand our own natural self in response to that. So we're feeling very instinctual, we're feeling a little bit more primal. If you're noticing that aspect of yourself, maybe you're a little bit more protective of the people that you love or the things that you care about, maybe you're a little bit more motivated to provide and go out and hunt and be independent and use your resources wisely and use all of your resources to the best of your ability and be really frugal and kind of sustainable in that way. Maybe you're feeling a lot of this intuition and connection to Mother Earth and feeling a lot of connection to animals and maybe some deep connection in telepathy or kind of the ability to connect with animals in a very deep and communicative way. Maybe you're having that kind of primal instinct. So whatever it is meaning for you, we want to tap into that. We want to let that evolve, because what it's doing is it's wakening up our ancestral knowledge, our ability to tap into our ancestors, and also that divine essence of ourself that is so connected to tribal energy and our original peoples. So we want to allow ourselves to get into that wisdom, because that wisdom is going to help us plant these new seeds and allow them to grow in the right time. It's going to allow us to be more fearless in that warrior energy. Most of the indigenous peoples that we come from are warriors at heart, and they are part of a strength that we as modern day humans cannot fathom in this day and age. And so we want to be able to tap into that strength, both the inner strength and the physical strength of our ancestral line and that ancestral knowledge. And I've been feeling like that is a really strong message that's just been coming forth over the next couple of weeks, or over the last few weeks and the next couple of weeks, just over this entire month, honestly, and feeling into kind of this understanding that right now in the year that we're in 2019, which is a 3-year. It's all about really kind of coming into balance, mind, body, and soul. Also that balance of the Holy Trinity of death, birth, and rebirth, or death, life, and rebirth. And I'm like all weird today. But allowing yourself to feel into this understanding of that ancestral energy is going to help you understand your own cycles of that change and your evolution in that way, which is going to give you more strength and wisdom in your path. And it's so important for where we're at right now in the world, because we are waking up to a lot of new information. We are waking up to a lot of our divine source connection, and we are waking up to a lot of the aspects of that need to find oneness despite all the separation that's occurring in the world. So we want to be able to hone in that wisdom wherever we can. Okay, so on top of that, with that, we have an initiation from our ancestors. So a lot of you have been called to research maybe your bloodline, maybe understand what families you've been attached to, reach out to family members that have been lost or forgotten over time, or just unable to be communicated with, long lost family members or relatives. All of that energy is part of it. It's part of putting together that family web and allowing yourself to see who you really are in this world, in this physical existence. And that can bring about a lot of that earth connection and natural essence that the Aries New Moon and the energy of this month has really been calling us forward in. So don't hesitate to do that if you've been called to. If this is sounding really resonant to you, if you're feeling a deep call to do that work and to understand more about your family line, your heritage, where you come from, then do that. Talk to your elders in your family. Go do the Ancestral.com test so that you can find out everything that you are, and allow yourself to dive deep into the history, and not just the history that is taught to us. Remember, we don't want to dive into the matrix history, the history that is more 3D and more conditioned. We want to dive into the depths of the history and really uncover the truth. A lot of historical stories have been manipulated over time from powerful civilizations or other peoples that have been wanting to kind of create the story for themselves, even religions and other things, just government, that people are always changing the story for the benefit of themselves. So you want to make sure that you go back and you go deep into the history of your family and look for the real essence of the energy, and make sure you credibly search for that understanding, and look into a couple different resources so that you can make sure that they're the same story and you can really find out the best information possible, the most accurate. And that's going to give you a lot of wisdom. And initiation from those ancestors is going to help us move forward with that forward momentum that I talked about. The Aries are very fearless and they're trailblazers. They're sometimes stubborn, but in a progressive way usually, and they're very passionate and strong. And so allowing ourselves to tap into this Aries New Moon with that understanding and that layer of of characteristics and energy that we can pull into ourselves and really express outwardly with that clarity is going to help us move more into that forward aspect of progression, help us be stubborn in the right ways, to be persistent in the right ways, to be able to be passionate and to let our passion fuel our purpose, and vice versa, our purpose fuel our passion. Sometimes it's either or, depending on where we're at on the cycle and the progression of what we're doing. And so we want to really feel that call to action, understand that our forward momentum is completely building with that faith in ourselves, and also to let ourselves have more creative, original ideas. It's so important that we allow ourselves to be imaginative, to be inspired, to be creative, to collaborate with others, to allow ourselves to play and to interact with other environments and other inspirations that can bring us new perspectives and outlooks on life, that will give us new insight into ways that we can bring about more of those new beginnings and those new projects being developed for a lot of us. So make sure that you ease into the oneness of being with everyone around you, and know that anyone that is put in your path is most likely there to teach you something about themselves, so that you can be able to understand more of a diverse spectrum of humanity. And that is the way that we stay in oneness, by understanding that we are all human, we are all imperfect, we are all also divine, and we are all here to bring about change in any certain way to the people that we meet for specific reasons, often guided by source and unbeknownst to us. So when we have that understanding, we realize that we are all very much the same, and there is so much compassion to be had for that understanding of each other. And then it creates more inspiration to create with each other and to be loving with each other and to find oneness instead of separation. Okay, also, we're feeling into that alchemy. I talked about that a little bit with the transmutation, the 15 degrees in Aries, 15 being an alchemy number of positive change and going within for that positive change, and understanding that the guidance is there when we go within. And so alchemy and transmutation is huge for this week, and we're really moving and changing a lot of forms of things this week. We've been changing the forms of our perspectives, of our beliefs, of the way that we act and feel, the way that we interact and communicate with others. We're changing the forms of how we connect with spirit even, and understanding more ways to do so. So allow yourself to find ways to transmute energy. Transmuting energy is often allowing us to see more of a silver lining in an energy that was a little bit less than light on the surface. So allowing yourself to notice if there's anything that's less than light or troubling you or plaguing you in any way in your life right now, try to find ways to see why it could be benefiting you and what could be the beauty behind that seemingly upsetting thing. And so allowing ourselves to transmute with that stuff, with that perspective from within, is going to help us kind of let that stuff out and let it go, anything that's no longer resonating with us, and any of the negativity and the assumptions around that experience that could be putting us in a negative vibration. Okay, a couple other things before I move on to the zodiac signs and pull some cards. The sun and moon is square Saturn in Capricorn right now. And so with that, we have a call to action in beginning new projects. So that's just adding to that energy of beginning and commencement that we talked about. And we also must jump on our opportunities in career. There's a lot of energy about career, and there's Capricorn energy with kind of this essence of stability and strength and needing to provide, and that's really why that sense of career is really important for ourselves. So allow yourself to jump on any opportunities that you see that feel good in your career, that are maybe a little bit unknown to you all the way, or maybe feeling a little bit like out of your comfort zone, but you have this deep understanding and this deep intuition that this is an opportunity you don't want to miss. Jump on it, because that is important for this new moon, and you don't want to be you don't want to miss out on that opportunity. So allow yourself to jump on those opportunities. Also make sure that you're balancing your passion, because we have such a fiery Aries energy, with your logic, okay? Making sure that you find ways to kind of tone down the passion when necessary, so that you can structure and organize things appropriately to bring that passion to life. You want to make sure that you're not just running on passion all the time, because passion can sometimes be a little bit unorganized, a little bit unstable, and not fully supported or grounded in. So with that logic and that ability to strategize and kind of make the right moves to lock things in the right place, when you have that passion, that's going to create the right balanced approach that will give you the best kind of result. All right, a couple of other things that I've noted on my notes for this new moon in Aries. Trailblazing energy, leadership, warrior-like passion, and grace. Also know that with that warrior-like energy and that passion and that heightened sense of trailblazing, that we want to focus on grace. Some of us can get a little bit too heavy in that energy if we let ourselves run with it. So find grace and that ability to be a little bit more reserved and think before you act, think before you speak, feel into it intuitively before you act and speak as well, and make sure you're maintaining that balance so that that passion stays at a level of perspective that is going to stay grounded and productive and graceful, okay? All right. Let me see if there's anything else that I missed. Oh, yesterday, just to touch on a couple of the messages we talked about in the weekly reading, yesterday was 4/4/19, so we really were tapped into more of that angelic realm, and we still are. So if you're interested in connecting with your angels or your spirit guides or your higher self, make sure that you watch the Thankful Thursday video that I posted yesterday. It's a great time to connect with your spirit guides and to use that meditation to do so. A lot of people have been messaging me with great results from that meditation, so definitely tap into the angelic realm if you're interested and use the energy from yesterday that's spilling into today with this new moon to do so. A couple of new moon things to do. I posted a post on my feed on Instagram at Readings by Rissa all about how to move through this new moon. Allow yourself to use some of those affirmations that I posted. Also do some of the healthy habits that I posted. Allow yourself to trust your intuition, call on your guides, be able to create with others. A lot of good kind of tips on that post. And another practice is to really just call to the moon and to call to the moon and ask for guidance on your new beginning, and call to your guides, call to the energy of the universe and the cosmos, because it's a celestial event. Allow yourself to connect to those cosmos and that energy of space and the vastness and the expansion and the complete unlimited possibility of space that gives you this sense of unlimited possibility and the opportunities and the new beginnings and the projects that you're gaining and bringing forth in this world. So I know that you all have a lot of great things coming your way. I know that there's a lot of amazing energy for all of you to tap into. I know that you have a lot of intentions set. Make sure you be clear on your intentions. Make sure you're detailed on your intentions. Make sure you give yourself time to visualize those intentions coming true and feeling into it, so that those new beginnings and those new movements forward can be really fully soaked into your being and impossible to be distracted from, so that you can just stay focused on that path and not have to sway off of it at any time. Staying focused with visualization and intention keeps you going in that same path. When we forget our intentions and we forget our visions for ourselves, we start like making choices that take us this way. And then we realize, oh crap, we're not where we wanted to be. Oh, how are we gonna get back over here? And then we gotta start making choices to like go this way to get back on track. So avoid that by just staying focused on your intentions of your new beginnings, staying in visualization of that, being meditative and trusting of your intuition and your guides and guiding you that way, and the path will be easier. All right? I love you. I'm gonna pull some cards. I also want to do our Zodiac stuff that we always do. And thank you all for being so patient with me this week. Like, it's been such a crazy week with just all the stuff that's been going on. And if you've been watching my videos, you know what's been going on with me personally, with my grandfather passing over the weekend. So thank you for allowing me to have some of these like little human moments where I'm like a little bit like out of it and a little bit off, and taking time off from IGTV, like all those things, and all the love that you all gave me this week, like definitely recharged me, because towards the beginning of the week I was having a hard time. And so all of your love and light has recharged me, and I do these things, these videos, these readings, just for you guys, just to give you guys the ability to have this information and to have it credible and have it honest and genuine and open. I know that for my spiritual journey in the beginning, I didn't have a lot of people or videos or pages or channels to turn to learn about the spiritual stuff and to be able to be validated on what I was feeling spiritually as I was growing in that way. So I do all of these videos for that purpose, to make sure that you guys have that support and that we're being a support for each other and we're building that community of support for other people waking up. So it doesn't feel good when I have to take days off, but I also know that I have to for my own well-being. And so I just appreciate all of you for being completely unconditionally loving in that way and just completely forgiving of any of my human moments in the process. So thank you. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's go into the earth signs for the Aries, or actually let's start with fire signs since it's Aries New Moon. Let's start fire signs with Aries, Leos, and Sagittarius. Let's take a nice deep inhale. Big exhale to relax, all of us. Another deep inhale as a collective. Big exhale to relax. Next inhale, biggest one yet, opening up to all the spirit messages for our zodiac signs and this new moon. Big exhale to relax fully. All right, for my fire signs, Aries, Leos, and Sagittarius for this new moon in Aries, there's a lot of energy surrounding understanding of oneself, being able to light the fire within for the sake of illuminating areas within that are needing attention, understanding our emotional body as well as our mental body and how they interact. Aries are being called to find balance in this way by focusing on their emotions and not turning from them, allowing themselves to see them clearly before they burn them out. Also very important for the fire signs here with this Aries influence is allowing for the ability to focus on mental aspects, the strategy, organization, and structure of one's life that can provide more illumination for the progress of your goals by getting more and more in tune with the appropriate ways to progress in a mental form. This is for the fire signs, Aries, Leos, and Sagittarius. Also, an added note is the grounding in of understanding the pursuit of passion that the fire signs have, understanding how that passion is translated in action, and fine-tuning those interactions for the sake of a more graceful experience and a more connected oneness with themselves and others. In other words, allowing the over-excitement or overzealous nature of fire signs to be slightly dimmed for the sake of creating more balanced and cohesive relationships for goals in the future. All right, that's for fire signs. Super strong energy there. You guys are strong today. Okay, earth signs, Taurus, Virgos, and Capricorns going into the earth signs for this Aries new moon. Okay, earth signs, it is all about finding ways to not become your own worst critic, to not become something that stands in the way of your growth, knowing that right now there's a lot of fire in the air and in the ethers, and sometimes that could be a threat to the earth signs if there is not enough moisture in the earth, not enough understanding of clarity, moisture being meditation, the ability to soak the mind in clear, pure water, to cleanse it and to free it from any overactive thoughts or emotions or perspectives that may get in the way of the progress of growth in one's goals. Earth signs, it is important for you to meditate. It is important for you to cleanse the mind and spirit of any energy that is pessimistic or self-deprecating, Know that you are powerful and you have an energy within that can be directed purposefully, deliberately, and appropriately for the growth and evolution of your goals. There has been much done in providing more of this momentum for you, and there has been proof of your goals beginning to manifest in recent months and weeks. Allow yourself to use that proof to get you through any times or lapses of that faith or any of those mental doubts that can creep up during this time with that fiery energy within. Also learn ways to redirect that fire within into creation, into ways to be able to communicate with others in a creative way, to evolve in a creative way, and to make more use of your skills in that way and that energy. Transmutation is what this is about. And that is for the earth signs. That is for Taurus, Virgos, and Capricorns. I'm getting like really deep channels with you guys, so this is really cool. Okay, water signs, Pisces, Cancers, and Scorpios. Pisces, Cancers, and Scorpios, water signs. Allow for deep emotions to be evaporated with the heat of your desire to move into your purpose and path fully. Allow yourself to enjoy the energy of release of emotions that may be heavy or dampening to your light. Allow yourself the privilege to choose, water signs, how you flow and where you flow. Notice those around you and be very observant of how they may be enticing you into old forms or patterns and perspectives. Know that still waters will be difficult to transform and change if they remain in the same place and do not provide or create new ways to flow. So, water signs, allow yourself to find new ways to flow out of stillness into more movement, and movement in the direction in which you see fit for your own progress and growth. Know that if you're feeling stuck, you have the option of breaking free from that stillness and creating a new stream, a new flow of energy wherever you see fit. Gain this control and use the release of heavy emotions to show you the way in which you will find these new streams. And those new streams will allow for new emotions to form, new energy, new alchemy of your emotional body, and also new growth and new sustenance in all of the areas that you have been seeking. There is much to be had for the water signs coming up soon, so stay ready and get excited and begin allowing more of that flow of your energy into other areas that seem exciting and interesting to you. And as for the water signs, Pisces, Cancers, and Scorpios. All right, last one, air signs. Geminis, Aquarius, Libras. Air signs, you are having strong understandings of the big picture perspectives on a lot of things happening in the energy, a lot of things happening in your experience, and a lot of things happening around you. This bigger picture perspective is providing you the capability of being a bridge for others to help them progress in their goals and also to help you move forward. Air signs, you are not just a bridge in this way, but also a conduit of change and healing for others, moving from one place to the next, whenever and wherever you are needed, for the sake of co-creating and building more momentum and activating the lives of others at this time. This is part of your purpose, air signs, and always will be, to help pollinate the universe with more energy and knowledge, more purpose and perspective and light. Allow yourself to be fully in this purpose, surrendering and releasing, surrendering to this purpose and releasing any hesitance and fully activating it. Know that you will be guided to the right place and the right time whenever necessary. And if you are struggling, then the right place and right time will come to you. Know that there are times for you to rest and recollect your energy, and times for you to use it and spread it as necessary as you feel. Allow yourselves, air signs, to enjoy this fluid and rapid movement, the spontaneous activation of this energy, and the ability to feel free in it all. Give this feeling of freedom to all the others who ask you for more understanding of this capability that you possess. Okay, that's the air signs. Geminis, Aquarius, Libras. Good channeling coming through there from all of the energy. And when I do these readings, I always channel in the collective, whatever the collective needs, whatever we need to know for those zodiac signs. So when I'm calling forth the earth signs, and I'm talking about the earth signs, I'm channeling in that earth energy, the energy that you're giving, and also the energy of the collective that is open to having a reading about their sign and their energy, and that they may be drawn to this reading eventually to find out more about how they can navigate their life energetically. And so it feels so good to be able to have such a strong channel in this reading and to feel into the messages of what's needed for this new moon, knowing that it is a pivotal time that we're experiencing right now, and it's time to move forward and enjoy what we're capable of and tap into it fully. Simply Trey says she just feels like she got her energy back today and feeling lethargic all week. That's definitely normal for new moon or full moon sensitivity. So good that you're noticing it, and definitely keep yourself hydrated, keep yourself rested. If you're feeling lethargic as well, make sure that you're charging yourself up by being around people that make you feel good, being positive, filling your body with the right things that will fuel it in the right way, and just being able to listen to your body and listen to your intuition on what you need in this moment as well. Wow, all the way from South Africa, Draped to Maniac. So cool. So nice to see you here. We're reaching South Africa with our web of light and our love. That is amazing. We've got people from Chicago. So exciting. Hi, April. Hi, Vinyl. Hi, Starlight Pancake. I love that name. Hi, Celestial Goddess. Hi, Alona. Hi, Gemini. Hi, Susan. So good to see you all. And I just want to allow yourselves, or allow you to ask me any questions if you want, because I know we usually do a Q&A, a live Q&A for spiritual questions on Friday, but since it's the full moon, we didn't do that. So if anybody has a question, I'm happy to answer it. Specifically, if you can be as general as possible for the mass collective so that everybody gets a feeling of an answer, not something too personal. And we can answer some questions so that we can get some of that Q&A energy in. Miss Dreams Body Fitness says that she just recently received her ancestry information. Awesome, so exciting. Susan just took the test last night, Gemini 61 says. So good. I'm gonna be doing it too. I just need to get the money and do it. I just haven't had a chance. But I definitely wanna know what my roots are, because I don't really know my biological father that well, so I'm missing a good portion of my tree. Hey, Louie Lou, what's up? I see you over here. Hi, Queen Sheba. All right. Anybody have any questions? Feel free to drop them below. I'm just giving you a chance to put them up there as I scroll through these comments. And also remember, guys, if you like these readings, make sure to tag people in them. when they're posted and send them. You can share them straight from the story, I believe, the live. You can send them the link. I also post them on my YouTube channel. The link is in my bio to my YouTube channel, so you can subscribe and tap the bell for notifications so you know when I go live on my Sunday weekly readings. And it's so good to be able to spread that energy. And you can always rewatch this reading as well, because it stays up on this story for 24 hours after. So if you really liked this reading, or you know that it resonated with you, or maybe it's going to resonate with somebody you just talked about or just talked to this week, make sure you send them the link and say, hey, I know we were talking about this week. I think this would be a great answer for what we're talking about, or I think this would be a great perspective to understand, or I think this would be a great clarity, give you great clarity on what you're feeling this week, whatever it is, so that we can really spread that love and give people more of a chance to educate themselves on the energy instead of just feeling it. A lot of people are conditioned to just feel the energy and then vent about it, but not try to understand it and be prepared to not feel it the next time. And we're only going to keep feeling it over and over again if we don't take the time to understand the energy and learn how to navigate it, because that's what's going to break the cycle of that irritating energy or the suffering of that energy. Okay, let's see. Hi, Andy Johnson. Thanks for the love. Thanks, Charming Deviant, for the love. Hey, Marie. It's so good to see you. I'm doing great. Thank you all for sending love for my loss. I see those comments too. I love you all so much. Oh, my dog Cash, you're welcome for the energy. Oh, thank you for your energy and love too. I'm just reading through all these comments. They're so loving. Hey, Levine, good to see you. You're magnificent as well. I feel your magic love. Oh, because I'm so Sharon DePreston said, because I'm water fasting, you have a better connection. That's actually makes a lot of sense. I didn't even think about that. That's a really good idea. Or that's a really good perspective. See, I'm like, but at the same time though, I have a better spiritual connection, but my human self is like flubbering through my words and it's like not making sense. It's so weird. I don't want to sing, Louie Lou. I'm going to be so embarrassed. I'm like really shy, by the way, in case you don't know. I mean, I don't seem, I guess I'm not shy. I'm not shy because I'm like on public like display all the time, but I'm a little shy about my singing in public. Like I will sing in public, but I don't want to right now. Maybe another time when I'm more mentally prepared, I will sing. I'll sing some chants or some goddess songs or something. All right. Anybody? Oh, somebody said, why are we here? Barrage, why are we here is the question. Spiritually speaking, why are we here? That's a big question. To feel into the diversity of light that is available to us and to make a mission out of it and a purpose, and to feel into that purpose and watch it grow and evolve and become beautiful. I guess that would be my quickest answer to why are we here. There's a lot of reasons why we are here though. How do we actually let go of what no longer serves us? Adelie Baby says, how do we actually let go of what no longer serves us? Great question. Takes time, takes intention. It takes deliberate self-reflection and deliberate discipline and willpower on clearing away old forms that send us back into the triggered state of not being able to let go. And it also is about releasing our sense of needing to have a certain clarity or closure, or to feel the essence of a specific outcome, releasing expectations, releasing anything around that thing that you need to let go that represents non-forgiveness or resentment or fear or anger. Any of those energies have to be let go in order for those things to actually be let go of, in order for whatever you're focusing on to be completely released from you. And when you get into that mode of forgiveness and that mode of kind of fully feeling that sense of no longer being triggered, a triggerless existence, then you begin to let more love in your heart. And you begin to have more compassion with yourself and others associated to that thing that you're trying to let go of, and start having compassion about that thing you're letting go of. And then that really releases the last layer. And then you kind of no longer have that energy of feeling like you can't let it go. So that'd be my quickest answer for you. I'm keeping them quick because we've already taken a lot of time, and sometimes it gives me a little timer saying like, you have 2 minutes left, and then I'm freaking out. Okay, so Marie says, Anastasia says, Rissa, I'm preparing for my yoga teacher training, and I keep getting different things popping up. How do we know if we should still pursue our dreams and destiny, or how to know when we should wait? Oh, that's a good question. Okay, how do we know when we are pursuing our dreams and destiny, or how do we know when to wait? Okay, great question. So a lot of times we will be encouraged to start pursuing our dream and destiny, but then the universe will give us other opportunities to keep momentum going, maybe financially or energetically in other ways, or, you know, career-wise, whatever, like other things that will kind of help support that dream and destiny while that dream and destiny gets going. So remember, just like anything, any new project, any new home that you're building, any new goal you're trying to tackle, it takes time, and there's kind of this start out period where not a lot moves, and it's just kind of like you're just getting into it, right? So during that getting into it time, and during that even the first beginning stages of the development, and sometimes even deeper into that until something's fully developed, depending on what it is, there's this other kind of spiritual guidance that is giving us senses of support for what we are going forward in our dream and destiny. So with the yoga teacher training, maybe there's other opportunities coming up for you to show you some other things that you'll be able to tap into that's going to support and drive more of your unique avenue and angle on yoga teacher training that's going to be very specific to you. So notice if there's any of those opportunities outside the yoga teacher training that is giving you a sense of understanding that it might help eventually. Maybe it's something that feels unrelated, like a business class or a business opportunity, but maybe that business opportunity is going to give you the opportunity to create more of a business mentality and to find and gain more of a business mentality for your yoga teacher training, so that when you get the yoga teacher training done, you have more of an understanding of how you want to make it a business. So these things can be also seemingly unrelated, but very related when you dive into it. So find ways to see how they might be relating, and then notice if you do find ways, that will usually give you an intuitive impulse, like, oh yeah, that's why I need to do it, or that's why this is a good idea to do this first, or this instead, or this during that time. Okay. Aya Barrage says, how can we let go of someone that we can't? Example, a family member. You can let go of family members energetically for the sake of letting go of your feeling of obligation to hold a certain role for that family member when you know that role is no longer working or serving you or that family member. So you want to allow yourself to let go of the role or obligation or the sense of need to be responsible in whatever way that you've been feeling is kind of plaguing you or influencing you in a negative way. Let go of that and shift your role as a family member. Maybe that means distancing yourself and no longer being a guide for that person or that family member in a spiritual way. Maybe you're always the person that they call when they need to have help with something, or they need to unload on you emotionally, and maybe that feels really draining to you and you just can't take it anymore. Maybe it's no longer your role to be that person, and that they need another teacher, another person that's less attached to them, that can be more of a productive guide for them, because they're not able to really take on your advice all the way because you're so close to them. So allowing yourself to shift out of the role of certain roles that you found yourself playing out of obligation and responsibility to that family member will usually let you let go of them in the ways that don't feel good, so that it's not so much a complete cut from them, but something that is just more appropriate for what you both need now in this time. Hopefully that answers your question. Louis Lou says, how do I cleanse my quartz and black tourmaline? Put it out into the new moon light. That is a great way to cleanse any of your crystals. So let your crystals bask in the new moon light tonight. Go put them out on like a little stone or something where the light is kind of shining in that direction, and allow it to just sit out there for an hour or two, or even 20-30 minutes, depending on how big or small the crystals are and how much availability you have to leave it outside. Also, what's another way? Charging it in the sun. The sun is a really great way to do it, and that's more of a daily charge. You can just put it in the sunlight for a couple hours or a couple minutes. Also, allowing yourself to sage them. I like to burn sage over my crystals and just kind of say a little blessing to clear out any energy that's not serving or any energy that needs to be cleansed. And charging them also is important. Sunlight is a charge and a cleanser, and then moon energy is a charge and a cleanser. So you can do that either way. The sage is more of just a cleanser, so you want to still make sure you charge them. And if you're working with your crystals a lot, then you're most likely charging them. So you don't have to charge them too much if you're working with them, but like I have all my crystals in this like glass case. There's like a ton of them. And so like this one I've been using a lot. So this one I know is charged because I can feel it and it feels like ready to go. That's the best way to describe it. It just feels like energetically charged. But like say maybe like this one down here, like I haven't used it in a little while, so it doesn't feel as energetically like charged. Hope that answers your question. Okay, what else? Okay, Captivating Fearless says, is what I'm feeling to self-heal and separate myself from my relationship right? I feel like I'm leaving him in the dark, but there's been signs that it's needed. Trust your intuition. Everybody, I always encourage everybody to trust your intuition. If you've been feeling like you've been getting signs to leave your relationship, the best thing I can advise is to trust your intuition, and if it keeps coming back to you in that way, then it's most likely your intuition nudging you in that direction. But I also always encourage people, especially when it comes down to love or something like that that's really close to the heart, to self-reflect and make sure that you're not kind of making this energy more palpable based on your fear of facing certain things that the relationship might be bringing to the surface that might be hard to face. And so sometimes when we are faced with things that might be hard to face in a relationship, we choose to run away or walk away or get out of there. So just make sure you're not trying to leave based on running away from a relationship or running away from what you need to face. Make sure that it's actually an intuition to self-heal and to just take that solidarity time and to be able to really mend whatever has been plaguing you within, so that you can have more of a divine love with a partner. And if they are meant for you, and if they are someone who is really willing to be there for you and wait for you, then they will understand that and they'll give you the time needed. All right, loves. Good to see you, Stefan and Leslie. I love you guys so much. All right, who else has questions? Jade Poole says, I'm having trouble feeling into my body and grounding even though I practice daily. Any tips? Yes, eating grounding foods can be important. If you're recently turned vegan or vegetarian and you're having a really hard time grounding, I would recommend finding ways to ground through food. So even dark chocolate, coffee or cacao, other kind of grounding foods, any kind of rooted vegetable, potatoes, anything like that. Or if you're being called to eat meat again because that grounding is just impossible. I just did a reading for someone last week where she was feeling really ungrounded and just unable to stay grounded, and she had just recently become vegetarian and almost vegan, and spirit guided her to eat more meat just here and there just to stay grounded because she has no earth energy really in her. She doesn't have any like resonance with staying grounded. So if that might be you too. So make sure you follow your intuition on intuitive eating. And also for grounding, obviously we talk about meditating and grounding your roots into earth, feeling your energy extend out of your spine down into earth and rooting into the earth, feeling that energetic cord from your spine wrapping around the earth's core and feeling locked into that earth energy and grounded, so that you can go all the way up as high as you want to go and not feel like you're going to be floating away. So if you're already doing that, then I definitely would suggest going into your diet and finding ways to ground through that way. Also, there's really cool grounding practices that people do, like burying themselves in like dirt and sand for a little bit, and like going to the beach and like being in sand for a little bit and just experiencing what it feels like to be in earth. Lots of different things. So you can check out other different practices. I'm trying to think of if anything else is jumping out at me. Different teas. There can be different teas for grounding. I would research that. I'm not getting the specifics on it, but something's telling me to tell you to research grounding teas. That can be a lot of herbs that are going to be more implemented into your diet so that you can feel into more of that earth energy. And that question was from Jade Poole. Thank you. Yes, Charming Deviant says living a triggerless existence. 100% fire. Yes. All right, you all. It's been so good to connect with you. Let's see if there's any other. I see another question. Charming Deviant says, an incense for healing this body that has multiple sclerosis and lupus. An incense. I don't know of a healing incense, but I will say that anything with lupus or multiple sclerosis is going to be a lot of body stuff. So I would say, I'm not getting anything on an incense, but definitely any kind of body work that will transmute energy and help energy flow through the body and clear. A lot of clearing work, anything clearing is going to be helpful. So sorry I can't answer that really specifically. I might be able to more personally, but I just don't have time to tap into the depth of that answer because it's kind of a big one. All right, Jasenia says, hi love, I've heard you mention to call upon your ancestors, but Gio, be quiet. I've heard you mention to call upon our ancestors, but the healed ones, how can we tell who is useful ancestor energy versus having the whole family line come through? Great question. This is so important to be able to touch on your healed ancestors, because ancestors are more of our human connection. We have to be doubly sure that those ancestors that come forth are healed and not part of the family line or lineage that has created pain or suffering, or has maintained pain or suffering in our family line that we're trying to clear. So the best way to do that is just like any other guide, knowing that as you gain healing, you'll be able to be more discerning of those types of ancestors, but also to call on your healed ancestors by just asking them for only those ancestors to come through. And when you do that, you should feel a subtle change in kind of some of the, if you feel into your full ancestral line and then you say that, you should feel some of the energy kind of fall back, like some of those unhealed ancestors kind of stepping back and the healed ancestors stepping forward. Also, feeling into the energy that you feel when you connect with those ancestors. So the best thing to do is feel into your heart space when you do make that connection with the ancestor, and let your heart be the determining factor of if that feels like a good energy or not. Sometimes you can channel into an ancestor and they feel really angry and like violent and like aggressive. That would be an unhealed, unbalanced ancestor. So then you would just want to be like, no, I don't want any messages from you. I'll take the healed one. Give me the healed one, and just wait for that response. And it really is that easy to just say, no, I don't want any messages from you. Please release. Big exhale, push them away, and wait for the next one to come up that's healed. So yeah, definitely allowing yourself to just tap into that and be more intentional on that in that way. And if you don't get those feelings as deeply and as specifically, just know that your own subconscious is doing the work to be able to fine-tune that. And because you're setting that intention out loud to your subconscious, it's not going to allow for much confusion to enter. It's not going to give you any energy of that sort that you don't want or that you're not asking for. Oh, thanks, Alona. My meditation yesterday was everything for you. Thank you so much. I'm so glad. I was super called to do that meditation. I didn't actually even sit down to do the meditation on that. But even if you notice the meditation yesterday, I talk about like something completely different in the beginning of it. And then I ended up meditating about something kind of the same, but not really. Okay. This is going to be, wow, there's like 2 more big questions. Oh no, there's 2 more. Okay, there's 3 more questions. These are the last 3 questions. Okay, it says from Be Very Nice, it says, I work on maybe very negative people and it's having an impact on me. What can I do to not be so affected by it? Great question. Clear your energy between people that you're working on. Also make sure that you find ways to tap into your own energy in between those times when you're dealing with those people, finding ways to remind yourself of what makes you feel good in between. So maybe there's a specific song that you really like to jam out to that is like totally representative of your feeling good self and your higher potential self and your healed self. Then allow yourself to maybe listen to that song in between the people that you're working on, or maybe you have like your favorite snack or drink or something that makes you feel like you and that you're clear and that you're not attached to those people's experience. Because when we deal with negative people, we start to assume after dealing with them for too long that we are them. And that's just part of our human connection and being that close to oneness, is that we often mistake ourselves for others when we hang around them too much. That's kind of where that guilty by association thing comes in. And so allowing yourself to feel into yourself again in between those times when you're dealing with those people, just reminding yourself of how great your life is outside of their influence, then that will give you kind of that charge and give yourself a less than affected experience. All right. Adelie Baby says, is cannabis spiritually helpful, or is it misleading? Many people tell me that it makes my aura not clear. It can be different for different people. I've mentioned this before. I've talked about cannabis before. I actually think I did a video on it. I think I did. If I did, check that out. Check the IGTVs. I'm pretty sure I did a video on it. But if I didn't, that's okay, because I will. I'll check it too. And if I didn't, I'll make sure I do that. But yes, cannabis is different for different people. It depends. It depends on if you are someone who uses it and feels more connected to the spiritual realm and feels like you're more connected to the true essence of yourself, or if you're someone that feels like they ingest it and they feel very different from themselves, they feel very detached. That would be more of the people that ingest cannabis that get paranoid or anxious or depressed or lethargic. So noticing how it affects you is going to be the best way, because it is different for everybody. It is known to be something that helps thin the veil between spirit and physical existence, and that can help us in ritual and ceremony and intuitive work to help us dive deeper into clear readings. But that's not always the case. I get some of my best readings when I'm not under the influence of cannabis. I've also gotten really great readings when I was. So it just depends on your mood and what you need at that time, and also how you're using it. If you're overusing it, that can definitely dampen your aura. So you want to always have balance in everything. And if you're out of balance, then it creates a problem. So just be clear and honest with yourself on that, and that will be able to give you your answer. All right, last questions. Okay, 2 more. This is literally it though. Oh my gosh, I love you guys. Miss Dreams Body Fitness says, I pulled 3 Archangel Oracle cards this morning and 2 of them were from the same angel. How do I connect with the angel? Just call on them. Just call on that angel. Call on whatever angel that was. Ask them for their message. Go into meditation and call on them and listen. Wait and listen. And if you don't get a message right there in meditation, you'll still probably get a sign or a synchronicity in the next days or hours to come. So just be on the lookout, keep your eyes peeled, and know that any sign that seems like it's from them as validation is most likely that. Last question from J River asks, I've been a vegetarian for 8 months. Any meal recommendations? I've been having trouble balancing my diet lately. I like to make vegan or vegetarian chili with all sorts of beans and like just vegetables and stuff. That's really good. Me and my guy also eat like vegetarian pasta. I'd like to do gluten-free because that just adds to a better feel for your body. What's another one? Any kind of sweet potato tacos are super good. If you dice up sweet potatoes, like bake a sweet potato and then dice it up, or actually cut up sweet potatoes and then like saute them, or you can bake them, and then have that with black beans and a little bit of salsa and some corn tortillas. Super, super good as well. So that's a couple of ideas. But yeah, I definitely recommend the sweet potato tacos, or cauliflower. Cauliflower is really great. You can make wings out of them, like buffalo style wings, but with cauliflower. So look up that recipe. It's a very common recipe. Tons of different ways to do it. So yeah, that's a couple of my recommendations for you. All right, everyone, I love you so much. It's been so amazing connecting with you. Thank you so much for being here with me. 23 people still here live. We had 36 at the top of it, so amazing. And look at that, I just got my 2-minute warning, so we are right on time. I love you. I hope this reading helped you in any way that it needed to. I hope you share it with someone who needs it so we can keep that love and light going. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful new moon in Aries. Do something cool under the new moon, call on that new moon light. And also join me live on my YouTube page, on my channel, on YouTube under Rissa Vibes. The link is in my bio. You can tap the bell for notifications and make sure you subscribe, because Sunday, every Sunday, I do a live weekly reading all about the energy of the week coming forward, and all the astrology and numerology influences of that week. I pull cards about that week. I tell you all the spirit messages I've gained from other readings I've had in the collective for that week to come, so that you know exactly how to navigate the week. So I'll be live this Sunday at 1:11 p.m. Central Time to do the same thing for you. So join me there on my YouTube channel. I love you so much, and I will see you soon. Peace.